A report conducted by the Washington Post looks at the number of people killed by police officers in 2015. The report found that the number of people killed by U.S. cops was twice as high as the official number law enforcement agencies claim. The shootings are grossly underreported. The actual number the news agency found was 2.6 killings a day, compared to the official FBI report that says only 1.1 people a day are killed. One major issue raised is that the 17,000 law enforcement agencies in the U.S. generate their own reports and handle their own internal investigations into police shooting civilians. Until that issue stops, where cops aren't policing themselves and there's a third arm or a third authority looking at these police killings, I don't see this changing anytime soon. And Madison, you know, these numbers, they're not legally obligated to report the correct number, clearly. And the Washington Post did their own investigation. They're saying, you know, you guys are not reporting this correctly. You're only reporting, you know, barely half of the people that you're actually killing.
Well, you hear so many reports of the cops doing a bad job, but we also have to acknowledge that police are doing to keep the city safe and trying the best job that they can. It is a very stressful, risky job, and most of the majority of this reports is that most of the people are armed. So most of these cases that you hear are actually rare where they're not armed and they're taken down.
Right. I mean, I'm with you on that. You know, there are good cops, there are bad cops alike. The problem that I'm having is that there's currently no reliable way to track police, you know, shooting deaths. And that's the major issue here, you know, in my opinion, that, you know, they're doing their own internal investigations. There isn't a third party looking into cops' behavior, and there isn't an accurate reporting, a standardized system of reporting on these police killings of civilians. And until we get that standard report going and, you know, an outside authority, I don't see this changing.
Well, I think having cameras on cops now is an excellent way now to really be able to zero in on who's doing a good job and not doing a good job. And again, you know, I think that this will help a lot, that it's mandatory that cops wear surveillance cameras for both of their sakes and for the person they're going after. It just gives information. It allows for these cases to be tightened up and people to probably step on their A game even more, knowing the fact that they've got a camera on them.
Also, I totally agree with you, but we're not going to be able to do anything about these issues on the table. You know, controversial cop killings, nobody likes to hear these stories, but what's worse is, you know, until we can accurately track this information and not leave it up to cops to just police themselves, I don't see this getting better anytime soon. You know, we'd love to know what you think about this issue. Should cops be policing themselves? That's the question on the table. Please log on, post your comments below. While you're at it, subscribe to the Lip TV 2.